Good morning, friends. Happy Thursday. Today, for science, we're going to continue learning about how animals change the environment. And last week, we read the story Bringing Down the Moon, and the character in that story is Mole. And in the story, Mole is trying to bring down the moon, but I want you to notice in the picture what happens to the ground where he lives. So moles live mostly underground, and they dig tunnels and holes in the ground. So here's a picture of Mole from the story we read last week. Today for science, we're going to go into our science journal, the one with the woodpecker, and we're going to talk about how Mole is going to change this ground. I'm going to play a simulation on the computer, and one side is going to have no mole and one side is going to have a mole. And I want you to notice the changes that happen on the ground with the mole burrowing and tunneling to try to find food. So the question for today is, you're going to make a prediction. Which field will have less grass? So again, less is our math word meaning a smaller amount. So do you think there will be a smaller amount of grass over here with no mole? Or do you think there will be less grass over here with the mole? Okay, and I'm going to play the game here on my computer, or the simulation, so you can see it. And so here's the picture of the computer that looks the same as the one in the journal. So here is no mole on the left, and here is a mole on the right. And down here it shows a picture of the grass in the field. Okay, and so as Mole tunnels around, you're going to see down here that the grass is going to be less and less and less. The grass is going to disappear on the side. And then we'll watch over here with no mole. Let's see what happens to the grass over here on this side. Okay, so let me just go up here and click moles change their environment. And we've talked already about ants, we've talked about beavers and how they change the environment. So sometimes it's for good reasons and sometimes it's for not such good reasons that the animals change the environment, or I shouldn't say good reasons, I should say the effects on the environment are not so good. So the directions say, and it's filled with sight words. Help the mole find food. Select a worm or a grub. A grub is kind of like an insect that they eat. The mole will tunnel to it. See the effect on the grass in the field. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to hit play down here, and what you'll notice is you'll see a worm or a grub pop up, and I'll click on it, and then Mole will tunnel over to eat it. So again, moles live mostly in tunnels underneath the ground, just like the ants do, but they are searching for food. So up here is a worm, so I click on it and watch Mole tunnel up to that worm to eat it. And then notice what happens to the grass down here in this. So another worm down here. So watch the grass down here. Is it equal? Is it more, or is it less? As I click on the insect, see him making all these tunnels in search of food. Okay, oh, here's one over here. So as he tunnels around, he is really removing a lot of grass. Okay, so let's look down here at our graph down here on the grass. So over here with no mole on the left, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pictures of grass. And then over here on the mole side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know that 5 plus 5 equals 10. So this side has 10, this side has 5. So how many are missing over here? So this side, definitely you can see that it has much less grass. And even up here in the picture, you can see that there's less grass up here because of all the tunneling that the mole did compared to the side with no mole. Okay, so in your journal, we're going to go back to the mole page. On this side, I want you to draw the field that has less grass. So on this side, on your science journal, you're going to draw what you guys see over here with all the tunnels that Mole made. And when you draw it, I want to see a lot of dirt and not as much grass. Okay, guys? I can't wait to see what you do in your science journal today. Have a great day.